Hello and welcome to another episode of my Productivity Mastery series. My name is Pullein and this week I want to give you my top 3 productivity habits that prevent me from becoming overwhelmed, stressed out, and more importantly, forgetting stuff. So let's get started with the first one. And this is part of my morning routine, and I do this every single morning, 7 days a week, and that is to spend 10 minutes writing a journal. Now, just to give you a little bit of background, my morning routine begins with turning the kettle on to make my morning coffee. After that, I drink a glass, while that is brewing, I drink a glass of lemon juice, water, and then once my coffee is made, and I sit down at this desk with my iPad and I will write for 10 minutes in my journal. Now, I've covered my journal in a number of things, and I'll put a link in the show notes below to show you how I use my journal, which is day 1. But what this does, and the reason why it's a productivity habit, is it actually prepares me mentally for the day, because it gives me an opportunity to check to see what my top objectives for the day are. What are the 2 or 3 things that I really want to make sure I accomplish today? And it's really a place where I can ground myself and get ready for the day. Now, one piece of advice here: if you're new to journaling, if you've never done it before, you are going to struggle to get started. We all do. We can go around YouTube, we can go around blog posts looking for tips and ideas about what to write. But really, at the end of the day, you just need to let your mind go wild. Just go for it. Because usually what happens is overnight, your subconscious brain is wide awake and is working really hard. When you wake up in the morning, you've got a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas. Now, you may not be consciously aware of it, but in time, if you just sit yourself down with a cup of coffee or whatever your morning drink of preference is, and just write down whatever's in your mind, you're going to build a whole body of amazing stuff that you can go back and review later. So that's the first one. First one is spend 10 minutes in the morning writing a journal. It doesn't matter whether you do it digitally like I do or whether you do it by hand. All that matters is you just give yourself 10 minutes of quiet, calm, and write in your journal. Second thing that I do is a daily planning session. Now, I do this every evening. Now, it doesn't really matter at what time you do it. My preference is to do it last thing in the evening, so around about 10:30, 11 p.m. I will sit down again for around about 10 minutes, maybe 15, and I look to see what's on my schedule for tomorrow in terms of my calendar. What appointments do I have? And I look at my task manager and I look to see what tasks do I have scheduled also for tomorrow. I can then modify it, adjust it if it's a bit crazy. So for example, usually Thursdays are very busy days for coaching calls for me. So I have a lot of calls usually that day, maybe 5 or 6. So I tend to make sure that there's not too many tasks in my task manager, because let's be honest, there's only 24 hours in the day and I have a lot of work to do that day. So usually on a Thursday, I make sure I've got as few tasks as I possibly can. But this again helps me to sleep better at night, because I know that the day is planned. I know I'm not missing anything. I know that everything is ready and ready to go the next morning. And the final and third tip is to do a weekly planning session. Now, it just blows me away how many people who don't do this. David Allen wrote in Getting Things Done, the weekly review. You know, so many interviews with so many successful people say that they plan the week. And it's interesting to note that the people who are really struggling with productivity, the people who are stressed out and overwhelmed, when I ask them, are they doing a weekly planning session? 99.9% of the time is no, they are not. Well, hello. If you really want to get in control of your day and your week, and to make sure that you have balance built into your weekly schedule, then do the weekly planning session. Now, it doesn't take long. If you do a weekly planning session, really all you're trying to do is to decide what needs to get done next week, what do I want to achieve next week, what do I want to do next week. It could be I want to spend Wednesday, which is usually my day off, with my family, and next week I will be taking time off and we're going over to Seoul to see my parents-in-law and just have a really nice day. And that's really the key thing here, is to make sure that you are planning the week. So now that I've got the week planned, I know I'm not going to be scheduling appointments on Wednesday. I know I'm not going to be putting a load of tasks in there which are just not going to happen because I'm not going to be in my office. So the weekly planning session is crucial if you want to avoid that stressed out, overwhelmed feeling. It puts you in control, and it also makes saying no a lot easier. So those are my 3 top tips on getting more productive, and they're really quite simple. Morning journaling, it takes 10 minutes. It's just 10 minutes. Now, by the way, a quick tip on this one: if you are struggling to write something, you are not allowed to do anything else in that 10 minutes. So you sit on the floor and you just sit there if you can't write anything. I can promise you, after a while, you are going to find something to write. Maybe it can help if you actually set up a checklist just to give you some questions that can help you, right? What am I grateful for? What are the 2 things I really want to get accomplished today? You can do things like that, which will just get you started. But ideally, you just want to be emptying your mind and preparing yourself for the day. Second one is that daily planning session. Usually the best time to do it is the day before, so the evening or the night before, simply because it makes you sleep better. You know you've got the day tomorrow planned and you're ready to go when you wake up in the morning. And finally, make sure you're doing a weekly planning session. I mean, if you're not doing that, at the very least, then you are really not going to be very productive, because you're going to be reacting to everybody else's urgencies and emergencies. And that's never a good position to be in. So those are the 3 things. In terms of time, it's 10 minutes in the morning for journaling, 10 minutes at the end of the day for doing your daily planning, and 30 minutes at the end of the week to do your weekly planning. We are talking at most 50 minutes a week to do these things. Well, it's a bit more than that because you're journaling every day. But in total, it's just 20 minutes a day, just 20 minutes. I mean, surely you can find 20 minutes and 30 minutes on a weekend just to do that weekly planning session. Well, thank you very much for watching this video. It just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Hello, thank you very much for watching my videos. Now I have something exciting to tell you about. Recently I have developed a brand new time management system. It's a system designed to manage your time in the 21st century. The world has changed a lot over the last 20 years. In fact, it's actually changed a lot this year. And what we need now is a system, a time management system that is very easy to use, easy to maintain, so that you can spend more of your time doing the work. And that's what the time sector system is all about. It's going to change your whole belief system about the way a time management system should work, because this focuses on when you are going to do the task. And let's be honest, it doesn't matter how motivated, inspired, or how urgent something is. If you don't have time to do it, it is never going to get done. And that's what this system is built around, getting your work done, so you can spend more of your time doing the things that you want to do. I hope you join me in this course. The full details of the course are in the show notes below, so please join me, and thank you very much for watching this brief video.